So some of you have been asking how to practice ship's transition and stuff you should be thinking about during ship's transition. I posted a video with inputs earlier, but there are a few things that I think the video doesn't really go over explicitly, so I will try to make them clear here. So first of all, after you finish an entrance and you get the objective update, I think it's cross the expanse. Yeah, once you get that objective update, you get this checkpoint. So you can either leave to preserve the checkpoint, or you can have someone else load you in from orbit. And once they load you in, you'll have this checkpoint, provided you don't have a checkpoint that's further progressed in the raid. And you'll spawn in here. And of course, if you need a well to practice your transition, use your old friend Ashes to Assets and Starfire, and you can run Fusion Grenade and Emprift, and you can just kill these ads here, especially the orange bars, and you will get your super. And let's briefly go over how transition works. So I don't have that much sword ammo. Kind of loaded in with default, but we'll try and make it work. Right. Okay. So I think most people practice ships from, well, you know, where the ships are, but you should practice from here, okay? At least until you have this part down. So when you go through portal, you'll spawn, you know, somewhere random around here. And, oh, there's the chest. Okay. So what you should try to do is you should practice from here. And I would recommend just jumping and eager dashing, or eager bouncing into a dash from here. There's a well line you can do. You could do a left click well line like right down there, or from down here. But I wouldn't recommend doing that, especially if you're starting out. It's not really time save. So what I would just do is, it's just faster to just jump and instantly eager through here, dash, do some bounces, and then try to split yourself left and right. So let's say, you know, I'm a left player. I'll go left. And then you want to aim for this middle area here. So when you well line, aim kind of just in the middle area here. And if you notice you're going too far right or too far left, Icarus dash to correct yourself. So let's say I'm going to go flying into this wall, out of Icarus dash to the left, and I will get sent flying more in this direction. And then once you reach around here, just try and bounce into a fake skate, and then transfer your momentum. So I'll show what that looks like in a second. So, you know, let's say, you know, I went flying, and I kind of land somewhere over here, and I do a fake skate, and then you want to transfer your momentum in either direction. So let's say, let's start with right? So I land, fake skate, go this way, and then here, avoid kind of just standing still and setting up your well line. Practice until you can sprint into your well line. Make sure when you well line, you don't well line for height. If you well line for height, you will hit your head on that and die. So what I'd recommend you do is just well line normally, and then press your spacebar around when you pass that middle point, when your character first starts to go forward instead of up. So I'll show you that here in a second. Align your crosshair, well line, space, and then dash. Dashing will allow you to keep your momentum and keep your height. And if you Icarus dash on this side towards the left, you can actually carry your momentum up these stairs. And what I'd recommend you do is, or I can actually just show you that right now. So let me just go back. Might be cutting it a bit close on sword ammo for the other side, but should be okay. So, you know, let's say, you know, I land right over here, I sprint, I align my crosshair, well line, dash, and then I would just swing my sword right here. Swing your sword to stop yourself. And then you can pick a pole. Yeah, pick a pole. Probably take this one if you're doing right routing. You jump on here. And then this stays true for whether you're on left side or right side, but you're going to well line for height. And then when you reach the apex of your well line, you're going to pop heat rises, space dash twice. So glide dash twice. And that will keep your momentum going as long as possible while you have heat rises active. And then do double tap bursts until you reach the left platform. So you can see my inputs right now. Or I think you can. Let me just make sure you can. Yeah, you can. Okay. Sorry, I just needed to make sure that that was the case. So yeah, you'll see my inputs in a second here. So I'm going to well line. I'm going to pop heat. Dash, dash, tap, 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 right? And I actually double dashed really late there, so that's why I actually popped heat really late there, which is why I lost so much height. But normally it's not going to look like that. I will show you what it normally looks like in a second. So let's go right back over here. And so normally, right, you're going to bounce up these stairs, you're going to sword swing and cancel your momentum. And then if you're going off a pole, you want to bang your face into the pole, into the top of the pole. So just like that, and you'll mantle. So very, very easy. Don't try to land on top of the pole. If you're going very fast, it's going to go very badly. So just kind of jump, boom, just like that. And then so you're going to well line, pop heat, dash, dash, tap, 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 just like that. And then you should have around 7 to 10 seconds of heat rises here if you pop cheat at the right time. And yeah, before we move on, let's go to the left side and let's talk about that. Okay, perfect. So left side is pretty simple as well. There's like some small tips I can give you, but it's pretty straightforward. So let's do that. So you're going to kind of transfer your momentum down this way again, and you're going to run. And this time left side, there's like an annoying wall that you can hit. So you want to go from, I'd say, slightly left of this gap, like a little bit left, and kind of aim a little bit towards the right, like that. Right? So just make sure that when you're going forward, you're just not aiming there. That's all I'm saying. Just orient yourselves a little bit more this way. You're going to well line and dash, and same thing. Sword swing, cancel your momentum, and then pick a pole, right? You can designate who's on what pole, but it doesn't really matter. There's a well line you can do from this ledge, but you need to kind of time your burst perfectly if you're going to make it, and you're just going to barely mantle if you do that. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. So just pick a pole and have your fun. So let's pick this guy. Bang my face into it. Boom, I mantle. Well line, pop heat, dash, dash, tap, 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 tap. And you'll notice left side is way more forgiving. Like I approach here with way more speed, right? So around here, yeah, you're going to have like 7 to 10 seconds of heat rises depending on where you come from, right? And just get rid of that. And you're going to sprint here, or you're going to try and land close to this front area. And you're going to probably be in third person, so you're going to well line again, but you're going to well line with heat rises active. And when you have heat rises active, if your glide is active at any time, you start to slow down a lot, right? So the goal here is, because you're so high, you have so much room to fall, you're going to use that fact to basically conserve your horizontal momentum as long as possible. So I'll show you what that looks like, right? So I'm going to pop heat. Wait for my heat rises to reach around the right spot, which is like, let's say like now, right? So I sprint forward, I aim at the left side here, I well line, and then you'll notice I dash twice almost immediately, and I just burst ever so lightly. And then once my heat rise runs out, I coast, and then I dash, and then I swing. Okay, so a lot of things just happened at once there. But the main idea is, right, I did basically the minimum amount of heat rises time. So this is going to be like, if you're going from right pole, you're going to have very little heat rises time left, right? You're going to probably well line around 7 or 8 seconds. So you want to well line, and the second your character's head kind of goes up, right, and reaches that apex, you're going to space dash twice. And then you're just going to burst your heat ever so occasionally. You're going to, basically, the second you start to fall dramatically, you're going to burst your glide, and you're just going to kind of poof, just so you don't lose height, just to stop you from falling, just for that brief moment. And the second you run out of heat rises, you're going to dash to keep your momentum, and then coast. So you're gonna activate your glide the second your heat rises runs out, dash to keep your speed, and then coast until you reach around here. Okay, where I'm standing right now is, I would say, the minimum place where you can safely well line without worrying about parallel lining. What do I mean by parallel lining? If you try and line from here, notice how the ledge is kind of in your way. You have to go for a long well line, which is kind of risky. And you're either going to 3-orb if you input too early, or you're going to just eager and then place your well into the void if you eager too late. So my advice is, if you have enough speed, you know you can judge your momentum, and you think you're going to make it to the forward bit here, then you're fine. You can just turn and well line. Otherwise, there's bottom route. And bottom route is, if you approach this area and you notice you don't have enough speed, you can Phoenix dive onto the plate right here. And the nice thing about Phoenix Dive is that even if you're falling very fast, where an eager won't save you and send you forward, Phoenix Dive will still interrupt your falling momentum and allow you to land on the plate. Okay? So it's really, really nice like that. Hopefully that didn't set my spawn. We'll see. It doesn't look like it did. So I'll show you what a transition should look like. I have my heat rises, I think, yeah. So I'll go from left side. Right. Go for the well line. Dash, dash. Heat. Burst. Burst. Right. Then I coast here. And then here. Well, okay. Well, I sort of ran out of heat there. If you space out your glide and your dashes correctly, you should be able to make top route from left side. I just kind of fucked up a little bit. But yeah, you could just do bottom route if that ends nicely for you. And then what you should do after you actually make it here, that's something else we should talk about. You should aim for the middle and like a little left of the middle of that big gateway. Or just do that. Yeah, so you should aim for like the middle of that big gateway, and then when you pass that gateway, like when you pass that threshold, you should turn left and Icarus dash to your left. Okay, so give me a second. Wait for my heat rises to run out. Okay. Oh, great, I killed something. Okay, wonderful. Please go away. Stop bothering me. Okay, there we go. So yeah, let's say I just landed, then you go here, well line, and then the second you pass that threshold, I like to Icarus dash to the left, and that usually sends you flying right down this hallway. But if you want to be just cautious and you think you're gonna hit the wall, just block with your sword, swing out, and then when you jump up over here, you should have eager, and then you can go into the lift. That's pretty much it. All right, good luck with your practice.